Hello, hello, good morning and happy Sunday. I'm really loud today, oh my goodness. Welcome to episode 11, I think, of Coffee and a Card Facebook Live. I'm Zara Premji, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Markham, Ontario, Canada. And I am just gonna get myself organized here and make sure that I can see this on my computer. Okay, let's mute myself so that I don't hear myself. Good morning, Sonia. Happy weekend. Bonjour, Denise. Thank you for sharing, Sonia. You don't even know what I'm doing yet. I hope that it's worthy of being shared. Okay, sorry, I'm a little bit scattered. Honestly, it's like it should be a sin to have as busy a Sunday as I am about to have. And this is like one of the best ways to start off my day. Doing Facebook Live crafting with all of you and hanging out with my friends and hopefully some new friends. So if you're joining for the first time, every Sunday morning at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time, I do a Facebook Live crafting tutorial featuring some of my favorite Stampin' Up! Products. And the purpose is to entertain, inspire, to give you some ideas for crafting. And so if you have the stuff that I have, maybe that I'm using, you can use that on your project. And if you don't have what I have, maybe it'll still give you some ideas for a color combo or a layout, or even just get you inspired to start crafting. Okay, so if you're brand new to crafting, paper crafting, stamping, don't go anywhere because it's always fun to watch. And I'm told that when people watch these videos that it gets them excited and inspired to try something new. Good morning, Heather. Good morning, Carol Ann. And thank you, Denise. I'm glad that you think so. So I want to, you mentioned, Denise, that my cards are worthy of sharing, and I want to just comment on something. But first of all, you might notice I have a new mug. It says Mama Bear. It's a Rae Dunn mug. It's the first time I've ever bought anything Rae Dunn. So some of you might be like fanatics and buy all her things. And I managed to get to Winners this week because I needed to get some sweatshirts for my son, who has grown a lot over this pandemic. And so then I looked for a new mug because I've been saying for weeks that eventually I'll get to Winners and I will get myself a new mug. So let me tell you a little story. So I've been reflecting a lot recently, and I talked about this in a Facebook Live a few weeks ago about when I'm crafting now and I'm creating cards, I find it flows a lot easier. I just find it easier to design these days. And I haven't always felt that way. So when I first started, and even as, you know, even like a year ago, I used to agonize over when I was designing for a Facebook Live or a class and that sort of thing. And now I just feel like it just flows and comes a little bit more easily. And so the reason that I share that is because we always need to be prepared to suck at something new. So if you are a beginner crafter and you are just kind of like, oh, I don't know if this is my thing, it's just too hard to design and come up with ideas, just understand that the more you do it, the more you practice, the more opportunities you give yourself to craft and stamp and create, the better it gets and the easier it gets. So it probably won't take you 8 years to feel comfortable, but certainly like every time you do it, you'll just start to feel more comfortable. So I just want to put that out there because I know that there are times where people who have never crafted before or who are new to crafting watch and think that there's something different or unique about what these crafters do. And really it's just we decided to start and then we practice. So I'll get off my soapbox now. So good morning, Brenda. Yes, just keep playing with the toys. Just keep playing. And I've seen that quote somewhere that I don't know if it says be okay or be prepared to suck at something new, but like I live by those words now because I just feel like we can't expect ourselves to know something that we've never done before or tried before or learned before, but you've just got to do it and make the mistakes and learn from them, and then it just gets better. So let me show you really quickly. Now, for those of you that are doing my Flowering Cactus class tonight, if you don't want a spoiler, please look away, turn me off, go somewhere else, because I'm about to do a card that we are going to be doing in tonight's class. Now, many of you already have the tutorial, so if you've looked at that, you already will have seen it. So I'm giving you a 3-second countdown, and then I'm going to show the card that I'm going to be doing today, but it is in the Flowering Cactus class tonight. So 3, 2, 1, look away. Okay, this is the card that we're going to be making today. And I'll tell you, sorry, Beth, I hope I did it in time. So I am in love with the Flowering Cactus Product Medley in our January to June mini catalog. And once I flip the camera down, I'm going to show you where it is and all the things that are included. I have done a card with it before. But I love it, and I designed an entire class with it, and so some friends are going to be doing the class with me tonight, and we are making 6 different cards, 2 treat boxes, and then for those that purchase the entire product medley, they're doing a 12 by 12 sampler. So I'll post pictures of those in a few days, but I just I'm super excited about this class. I think it's my most favorite one that I've ever designed. So Heather, I don't know if you want to watch, and you know, it's only 1 card, it's not all 6. And then I also included a couple of little treats in the packages for everyone. So I like to sometimes do little pillow gifts, we call them. And so this is one that I had done. It's a pen wrap, and in it there's a cactus pen. Okay, so I got these from Amazon, and it's like a cute little whatever fine tip black pen, and I love black fine tip pens. And so anyways, I'm going to show you how to do this pen wrap. Okay, so it's a really easy way to wrap that, or a nail file, or I'm trying to think of what else you could put in. If you'd like to give out bone folders, which are like one of my most used stamping tools, I'll just show you how that would look in here. So it's just a wrap, and then you can put something in there, okay? And you would wrap that a little bit more tightly. So this is going to take me literally a minute to show you, but I have a piece of paper ready for me to show you how to make this, and hopefully it will inspire you to do that with your 6x6 designer series paper, because that's all you need is a 6x6 piece of paper. All right. Okay, let me see if there's anything else. If you love this video, please give it some hearts and thumbs up. I would love it if you would share it. So if you feel like your friends and family and networks would enjoy watching this crafting tutorial, please do share it. That's like the best compliment for me. And if you're watching on YouTube, because I do save these and upload them to YouTube, please give it a like and a subscribe. It's super exciting every time I see my subscriber number increase a little bit. So I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. Are you guys ready? Let me see. I'm looking at my notes to see if there's anything else I've missed. I think I'm good. All right. And thank you, Denise, for the compliment. So please do continue to say hello to me and to each other. Good morning, Margaret Ann. Good morning, Brenda. I see some familiar names here. Thanks so much for joining me. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to flip the camera down, and then we're going to get started with our crafting. All right. Okay, here we go. Whoops. I always do this. Okay. That's not so shabby, is it? Okay. All right, let me talk about the little sign that you see at the top of my screen. That is my host code, and what that means is that if you want to purchase any of the products that I'm using today, they're all available in my online store. And the link for the online store is right here. Okay, I'm going to try and stay in the zone here, because I know sometimes I go off camera. So I'm going to try my best to stay in this square here. So yes, if you do decide you'd like to place an order in my online store, you just need to put this host code in at checkout, and you're going to get some extra gifts from me. So the gifts for March include 2 embellishments. So you will get a package of the Gilded Gems, as well as a brand new but retired embellishment. So what I mean by that is that it's retired, so it's no longer available in our catalog, but it's brand new, meaning it's never been opened. So I will be sending these out early April. You will also get 2 tutorial bundles from me, and so I am part of 2 tutorial bundle groups, the Creative Stampers group and the Hydrangea Hill, sorry, I'm reading Hydrangea Hill, but the All-Star tutorial bundle. This tutorial bundle is 12 different projects, and there are video tutorials for this one, as well as measurements, supply lists, photos, and then with this one, it's a PDF tutorial, again with measurements, supply list, photos. So it just will really help you get started with your crafting. And if you have this bundle, the Hydrangea Hill, then there's lots and lots of inspiration. So these get sent out the Monday after. And the other thing that I'll tell you is that if you do order the Flowering Cactus Product Medley from me, I'm also going to be sending you our next month's tutorial, which is featuring the flowering cactus. So, okay, let's get moving. So if you have the January to June mini catalog, you will find the Flowering Cactus Product Medley on pages 8 and 9, okay? So it's at the front of our catalog with the kits, and it's called a medley because it's essentially like a curated bundle or set of products that coordinate really well together. But I will show you today that they coordinate really nicely with other products as well, okay? Including our Potted Succulents dies, which I will also show you. So actually, let me find that in the catalog. So we have a stamp set called Simply Succulents, and so it coordinates really nicely with the Cactus Medley, and you'll find that on page 39, okay? So the Simply Succulents bundle includes this gorgeous stamp set with these amazing sentiments. I love this one, kind people are my kind of people, and you make the ordinary extraordinary. So I love this stamp set, and then it's got these gorgeous dies. So let's talk about the Flowering Cactus Medley and what's included in that, and then I'm going to show you the Potted Succulents dies. So in the Flowering Cactus Medley, you get a bundle. This is an exclusive bundle, meaning you can't actually purchase this separately. It is only sold as part of the medley. So there are 15 photopolymer stamps in here, and you have some really great sentiments. So you are a rare find, my dear friend. I love how our friendship has grown. Life can get kind of prickly, which is what we will be using on the card today. And then there's a birthday one. So any stamp set that has a birthday stamp in it, to me, is like, it's like gold, because we all need birthday cards. And then there are these amazing cacti and flowers, and you can actually use the dies to cut them out. So you have your dies here that will cut out these images perfectly. And then this one here, and then so on and so forth. And then you've got these awesome detail dies that will create just a little bit of visual interest on your cards. What's really cool about these dies is that they will also cut out the designer series paper. So there's one pattern in this designer series paper that has the same shape cacti on it and the flowers, and you can use your dies to cut this out. So to me, I feel like when you can do that and not have to stamp and color and shade all the time, it just makes for really quick and easy crafting, okay? So you'll get to see how that's done today. What else is included in this medley? You also get these felt embellishment sheets, and you get 4 of each. And I have been making project after project after project, and there are so many embellishments in here. So you can see I've really only kind of worked with 2 sheets so far, so I have 6 left over, and so there's ample in here for all your projects, and these will coordinate really nicely with other suites as well. And then you also get your linen thread. So there's the natural color here, and then we've got this Calypso Coral. So tell me, how many of you have this medley or are planning to get it? Because I am telling you, I'm gonna have to have a moment once this retires. And it's just super sad to even think about it going, because I love it so much. Okay, you can't wait to get yours. Okay, Denise. Hello, good morning, Norma Jean. Hello. Okay, hello, Joy. I'm seeing all my friends. Hello, Bernay. Oh, hello, Rita. Oh my goodness, so many people have jumped on since I last looked at my comments. Okay, hello, friends. I see all of you. And thank you for joining me. Okay, so let me show you really quickly the Potted Succulents dies, and then we're gonna get started with our project. So here's the Simply Succulents bundle. Again, beautiful stamps. And then in this set of dies, there are 13 different dies, okay? So you have these amazing labels. I will tell you, I will buy an entire set of dies, even if it costs $60, if it means I'm gonna get my hands on these really awesome stitched labels, okay? These are amazing. There are 4 different stitched labels. I love this shape here. And I've done a few projects with them, I just don't have them handy. And then we've got some really cool dies that will, again, you can use them with your Flowering Cactus Medley or just even with the stamp set. And then this is the showstopper. So this beautiful die cut here, let me see, I have some extra, I think I have some extra dies cut out here, because I did them for my class tonight. I just want to show you how gorgeous this die cut is. I haven't punched out all the little shapes here, but just look at the detail on that. Let me put that here. So you can see the beautiful detail on that die. And it isn't actually that hard to cut. At least I didn't find it. You just run it through, I would say run it through twice, and just put your die on a little bit of an angle. So when you're running it through your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, I find with some of these detailed dies, it's helpful to just put it on a little bit of an angle and run it through that way, and I find that it cuts more evenly. So there's a little tip for you. All right. Okay, so let me see what's next. All right, I think we're ready to get started. So let me know if you have any questions. I would love to hear if you have this medley and or this bundle and if you've created anything with it, because I love cacti and succulents, and they're just beautiful. Okay, here we go. So Norma Jean, you don't have it. Okay, well, hopefully today will be, you know, give you maybe a little bit of inspiration, or, you know, I'll be interested to hear after you see the card if you even feel a little bit of an urge to get it, okay? So let me straighten up here, have a sip of my coffee. All right, let's do this. Okay. I want to do a little public service announcement here. So some of you have already seen the retiring list. And one of the things that was on there literally made me feel like I needed to cry a little bit, and that is the Stitched Shapes dies, okay? So there is a set of dies that has, I think it's 12 different dies in here. Mine is an old pack. I have 2 packs of these actually. And please forgive me if this is already sold out. I haven't had a chance to check. But there are 12 different dies, 4 of each shape, and then you get different sizes. So there are circles, ovals, and squares. These are hands down my most used dies. Like I can't think of anything that I use more than these, so I will probably never, ever, ever, ever part with them. But I've used them on my projects today. So we've got the large stitched circle, and then we've got the small one here, okay? So this is for our little treat, and then this one here is going to be for our card. So let's get started with this one. I am using a Sahara Sand card base, and it is cut at 5.5 by 8.5 and scored at 4 1/4. So just your normal standard A2 or A4 size card base. Then this layer here is also cut from Sahara Sand, and it is the same measurement as the card front. So it is 4 1/4 by 5.5. So I wanted to cover the entire front. It's actually a large die, so you can definitely work with smaller pieces of it and cut it down. But I wanted to use the entire die just to add a background to the front of the card. You can also use this as a stencil. So if I wanted to take my blending brushes and then apply some ink to my card base, you could double this. So essentially I could take this and then put it onto a card and, you know, blend some ink in there to create a succulent background. And then I could also use this as a card front. So you can do the negative and the positive. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to do some die cutting here. So I'm going to need this piece of designer series paper, and I'm going to get out my dies, and I will bring in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Okay, so let me clear some of this stuff. So we're going to be doing, I need 3 different die cuts here. So I'm going to use this one here, and then I would like to use this one for here, and then I'm going to use this cactus here. It reminds me of a dill pickle when I cut it out in Mossy Meadow. Just reminds me of a pickle. So there you go. There's some more versatility for you, right? Because if you ever wanted to do like a punny card or something with a dill pickle on it, you've got a little die there that you can use. So let me do this part first, and then we will start to assemble the card. It's really easy. This card might look a little bit more detailed just because of the background, but it's actually really quite easy to make. So can you see this? So I'm going to use this cactus here, and then I'm going to do this one here in the middle, and I'm going to grab my Post-it tape just to make sure these don't move. And then I'll see if I can do the little dill pickle cactus at the same time. Are you guys seeing that too? Okay, maybe I'll show you once I finish the card. Tell me if you see a dill pickle. Okay, here we go. Okay. All right, so that's stuck down, and then let me see if I can get my little piece of Mossy Meadow here and then do this one here. Okay, so hopefully everything will stay where it's supposed to. If not, I will be fine. We will be fine. Oops, hang on. I'm already moving things around here. Okay, here we go. So just gonna roll this through our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. These would also fit in our mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. You just have to cut the designer series paper down. Okay, so let's pull this down, move these out of the way, and then I'm just going to gently remove this Post-it tape. And be careful not to rip my designer series paper here. It comes off pretty easily. I'm tearing the actual tape, not the designer series paper. Okay, so we've got our little die cuts here. And I'm gonna just put these aside. I should probably put them away so that I don't lose them. And I just like to use magnet sheets for my dies. I'm sure many of you do that as well. I used to find that the double-sided tape that they get stuck to, it just was too hard for me to fight with the dies. So I always buy these magnet sheets. I just buy them from our dollar store, Dollarama. And I cut them down because they come in longer sheets, and then I cut them down and just put my dies on here. And so when I buy them from the dollar store, I buy them like 12 or 13 at a time. Usually right before a new catalog, I'll have to stock up again. And I'm running low now. Okay, so let's do the die here. I would strongly recommend you use liquid glue for putting this one down, or if you have the adhesive sheets, you could run that through with the adhesive sheets, and that might be a little bit easier to stick down. So when you're using your liquid glue, use a very light hand. A little goes a long way. And maybe I'll get my silicone crafting sheet here. And that way any glue that spills out onto the sides is not going to get stuck to my surface. Okay, so I'm just putting a really thin line of glue here. You don't need to worry too much about the middle because you're going to actually be sticking things onto it. So you could just put little tiny dots of glue in different spots just so that you don't have parts of this die sticking up on your card. But most of the middle part is going to get covered by the die anyway, and that will help to hold it down. Okay. So I think that should be enough. And then I'm going to just move that out of the way. And because it's exactly the same size as my card front, I'm just going to make sure that I line that up with one side edge and one bottom edge. Am I on the screen? Someone will let me know if I'm not on the screen, right? You see a dill pickle? Okay. And Norma said, nope, not what I first saw. I think it's only in this color. Like I've done a few other projects with this in like mint, like a mint green and a different kind of green, and it doesn't look like a dill pickle then. I think it's just the color. Okay, so that's all there is to it. Okay, so see how beautiful that is? I mean, like you could do this for so many different cards. You could just honestly throw on a little sentiment and some ribbon or some gems, and it's gonna make for such a beautiful card. So I'm going to just locate my dimensionals and just stick this down. So I'm gonna put maybe 4 dimensionals here. Yeah. Oh, that would be so good, Bernae. A bunch of dill pickles in a jar. Oh my goodness. You guys have such good ideas. I am totally going to do that. My son especially loves dill pickles. So anytime we have a jar of those in the house, you can expect half of it will be eaten by my son. And we love them too. My husband also loves sweet pickles, which I don't know if any of you like them, but I am not a fan. Not a fan of the sweet pickles. Okay, so I am going to just stick this down here. So I'm just using my liquid glue right now for the cactus, and then I'm also going to use the liquid glue for this one as well. Okay, so I'm just going to cover the bottom here so that it looks like the cactus is growing behind it. And then you're just going to want to give it a little bit of time to dry. I haven't done any stamping yet, but there will be some stamping coming. And then this one I'm going to put on a dimensional. So just to add some depth and dimension to the card, I'm just going to use my little dimensionals for this one here. Okay, so that is done. Okay, so you can see that the little arrangement has come together. And so now I'm going to do my stamping. I'm going to use the stamp set that says, or the sentiment that says, life can get kind of prickly. I love a good pun. And I'm using my Mossy Meadow ink. So I'm going to just ink this up. And sorry if you can see the top of my head. Just going to stamp that down. Okay. So life can get kind of prickly. It sure can. And I can think of a few people that might enjoy receiving this card. And it might brighten their day. So I'm just going to snip across the top. I just don't want that white. I don't want it to look too stark. And then I'm actually going to trim a little bit off the bottom. You could leave it as it was, but I'm being fussy. Okay, so that's going to go here. But before I do that, I'm going to just take some of this coral thread. You get 10 yards of each in the medley. There is so much on here. Usually when we have combo packs, it's 5 yards of each, but with this thread, you're gonna get 10 yards of each. And again, you know, I love versatility. I love when products can be used with multiple projects. So I'm a huge fan of twine and linen thread. So it would be really nice to use these on other projects as well. So I'm just gonna cut that and then twirl the ends. And I'll stick that on with some glue dots. And I'm just going to put that right over the cactus, the raised cactus here. And then just cover it with the sentiment. Okay. So you can play around with these till they're pointing in the right direction. I'm just going to trim that, but not fuss too much with it right now. And then you can put your sentiment on top. So I'm going to just have mine going this way, and I'm going to use some mini dimensionals for this. So it's very popped up, like there's a lot of dimension on this card. If you need to mail this out, then you would probably want to maybe do one less layer on dimensionals. So I'm just going to use my minis here and then stick that down. And that's the card. So see how simple that is? That didn't take too long at all. And again, I think most of the heavy lifting is done with the card. I forgot embellishments. I want to use these little felt embellishments. So let me just pull, I'm going to take this one here. And then, let's see, there's a large flower on here, which I don't want. I want kind of something smaller. So let's see, maybe this size here. Okay, so we've got these. And when you are using, if you do have this medley, or if you're ever using any felt embellishments, I would highly suggest using liquid glue for them. I find that they don't hold very well with glue dots. So you kind of need the liquid glue. So I'm just putting a little dab on my cactus here. And you're going to want to hold that down. They do take a little bit of time to stick down. So if you let go too quickly and then move it, it will come off. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to stick this one down here while I let the other one dry. And let's see, I'm just looking at comments here. Oh, thanks, Denise. I'm glad you like it. Okay, so that's the card. So honestly, with this background die, there's just, the possibilities are endless. I love the tone on tone here, but you could also do different colors, obviously. And so that is the cards. Are you guys ready to see the pillow gift? Tell me what you think of this. Thank you, Carolyn. I'm glad you like it. All the cards with this medley are, I mean, I don't think you can make an ugly card with this medley. It's just so beautiful. Okay, let me show you. For those that might have jumped in a little bit late, I said I would also, I know it's coffee and a card, but today it's coffee and a card and a pillow gift, okay? So I am doing this cute little pen wrap with this cactus pen, and I'm gonna show you how to do that. And all you need for this is a 6x6 piece of designer series paper, and I've got the measurements here for you. So I'm going to grab my scoring tool, and I'm going to score it, okay? So the measurements are, you're just going to do 3 score lines, 1.5, 3, and 4 inches. Is it 4 inches or 4.5? I think it might be 4.5. Yeah, sorry, I'm going to correct this. It's 1.5, 3, and 4.5. I hope I've got that right. I think I do. Okay, so using my scoring tool, I'm just going to use the stylus and go 1.5, 3, and 4.5. Okay, do I have this right? I think I have this right. So that's all there is to it. You can also use your paper trimmer for that. Oh, thank you, Brene. I'm glad that you joined me for the first time. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so what I've written here is you're going to fold the top right corner to the first score line. Okay, so you can see that there are score lines here. So I've scored on this side, but I flipped to the other side. And so you're just going to fold this corner down to the first score line, okay? The first one to the right. Then you're going to fold the top left to the second score line, okay? You're going to fold that to the second score line. And then you're going to take the bottom left to the first score line. So if you, after you're done watching this, you can always go back to the replay and take a screenshot of this just so that you can see what the template looks like. Okay, so bottom left to the first score line, okay? So essentially, you've got the top right and bottom left corners kind of just folded into the first score line, and then the top left corner is going to go to the second score line or the middle of the sheet, okay? So then we're just going to fold these in like so, and you're just basically creating a wrap, okay? So this part here, I'm just going to fold that in. I didn't really stop to let you take a picture, but essentially that's the template, okay? So then we're just going to wrap this around like so. All right, and then you can use your Seal Plus, or you can use your liquid glue. I'm just going to use my Seal Plus here because you want to give it a really good hold. And then you're just going to stick that down like that. Okay, so that's how you get that little pen wrap. And then I've just cut a piece of designer series paper. This measures 4 inches long by 3/4 of an inch. Okay, so I'm just going to do that, and maybe I'll put the pen in so that I know kind of how much to wrap. Okay, so I'm just going to do that here, and I'm going to keep the seam at the front because I want to cover that with my little sentiment piece. Okay, so that's how it's done, and you're going to cover that up with your sentiment, which we're going to stamp using Gorgeous Grape ink. And I'm using the sentiment because it fits the best on this circle. I'm using the one that says, "I love how our friendship has grown." And so I'm just going to stamp that down. Yes, Denise, the bottom stays open. You could seal it if you wanted. And if you're going to be putting in something like a bone folder that's, you know, not as wide, then it'll slip through. So you will want to seal the bottom then. But yeah, that's kind of all there is to it. You could put all sorts of fun things in here, but the pen is holding pretty well in here the way it is because it's a fairly thick pen. I did this once for my team gift. So we had a every year at Christmas time, I like to give my team a little gift. And so the year before last, our team is called the Pretty and Pinksters. And so I had bought these metallic gold, rose gold pens. And then I created some pen wraps using some of our really pretty Christmas paper. So I think everyone really liked it. I still have my glitter pen. So I'm just using a dimensional here and then sticking that down. And that's all there is to it. So easy peasy. So let me move this out of the way. I will bring the projects back into the screen and take a look at comments to make sure I haven't missed anything. So, you know, I hear all the time people saying that they're hoarding their designer series paper or they have too much and aren't sure what to do with it. So this is like a really fun gift to give to neighbors, friends, family. If you know, you can do it with any paper, obviously. I obviously put a cactus pen in here because it's a cactus themed paper, but anything with our florals or geometric patterns, you could put lots and lots of fun things in there. Okay, so I'm just seeing if there are any other comments that I've missed. Thanks, I'm glad that you liked it, Brene. All right, so I think that's it. Hold on. Yes, totally a fun thing to do with your DSP, and so easy, so easy. So I just wanted to show you that. That was one of the gifts that I included in my Flowering Cactus class, and it was super easy and quick to make. Good morning, Laura. Thank you. Oh, I'm seeing some sad and angry faces. I hope that you guys weren't upset by my projects. All right. So I think that's all for today, guys. I don't know if you have any other questions. If you're watching the replay, please do comment below with hashtag replay. And if you have questions, comments, love the project, you know, any other thoughts or ideas for what this could be, please do share them below. And yeah, I guess you guys all have a great day, and I'll see you back here on Wednesday at 8:30 Eastern Time. And I will always say, if you guys have requests, it really helps me in planning my projects for the day. So if you have ideas or thoughts or things that you want to see, you know, even if it's like a specific technique or how do you make 6 cards in 10 minutes or whatever you guys want to see, please do comment and let me know, and I will do my best to accommodate. Have a great day, everyone. Happy Sunday, and we'll see you soon. Bye.